Every town has a perfect family. The ones who sit in the front, the ones who bring the extra bread to the potluck, the ones who seem to have a direct line to heaven. For 15 years, that was us. Mark was a man of the earth. He believed that if you sowed goodness, you reaped a harvest of peace. We lived our lives by a contract we thought was written in stone. We gave our tithes. We raised our daughter, Maya, to say her grace, and we slept with the quiet confidence of the righteous. But contracts are only as good as the one enforcing them. It started as a phantom, a dull ache in Mark's side that he dismissed as getting older. Then came the weight loss, the kind that makes your clothes look like they belong to a stranger. Therefore, we did what we were taught. We went to the elders. We knelt in the altars. We coded the problem in prayer. But the pain didn't care about our theology. It was colon cancer, and it had been quietly eating Mark from the inside out for months while we were singing hymns of protection. It was a silent tenant, paying its rent in my husband's blood. Stage 4. The words felt like cold water being poured into my lungs. In the US, a diagnosis like that isn't just a health crisis. It's an eviction notice from the middle class. Therefore, our perfect life was dismantled piece by piece. First went the savings, then the college fund, then the retirement we had spent 2 decades building. Mark's body became a battlefield, and every skirmish, every surgery, every round of targeted radiation came with a price tag that felt like a ransom note. I remember the smell of the chemo ward. It's a scent that stays in the back of your throat, a mixture of rubbing alcohol and the metallic tang of slow-dripping poison. I watched Mark shrink. The man who could carry me over the threshold was now so fragile, I feared my touch would break him. Every night, I'd sit by his bed and read the 23rd Psalm. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. But the only thing comforting me was the morphine drip, and even that was costing us $200 an hour. We were paying for the privilege of watching him disappear. Mark died on a Tuesday. The church was full. The preacher talked about victory over death, but victory felt a lot like a funeral bill I couldn't pay and a house that was now 50% owned by the hospital system. I thought I had reached the bottom. I thought the test was over. Therefore, when Maya started complaining of the same dull ache just 12 months later, I didn't pray. I didn't cry. I just went cold. Lynch syndrome. A genetic glitch. Mark hadn't just left me with memories and debt. He had left our daughter with a ticking time bomb in her gut. Colon cancer at 7 years old is a special kind of horror. It's a monster that doesn't belong in a child's body. But the bank doesn't care about genetic glitches. The insurance company doesn't care about a good person suffering. I was told her treatments were experimental and out of network. Therefore, I was forced to choose between my daughter's life and my own survival. This is the part they don't tell you about community. When your tragedy is short, they are there with casseroles. When your tragedy is a slow, multi-year bankruptcy, they start to look away. They start to wonder what you did to deserve this. Maybe there's unconfessed sin, they whispered. Maybe her faith isn't strong enough. I spent my nights in the pediatric ward, watching Maya's hair fall out in clumps on her Frozen-themed pillowcase. I'd look at the cross on the wall and realize that for a good God, he was remarkably quiet. I was working 3 jobs. I was selling our furniture on Facebook Marketplace. I was skipping meals so I could buy Maya's anti-nausea meds. But I was still the good church lady. I still showed up. Until the night Maya asked me, "Mommy, is Jesus mad at me? Is that why my tummy is burning?" That was the moment the contract was torn up. Therefore, I stopped talking to God. I started talking to the void. And for the first time, the void felt honest. Maya passed away in the middle of a thunderstorm. The power in the hospital flickered, and for a second, we were in total darkness. When the lights came back on, she was gone. There was no peace that passes understanding. There was just the sound of the rain and the realization that I was officially alone and officially broke. I didn't have a funeral for her. I couldn't afford one. I had her cremated and put her in a simple wooden box. I sat in my empty living room, the furniture already repossessed, and I looked at the dust motes dancing in the light. But then something happened. I realized I wasn't afraid anymore. I had no house to lose. I had no husband to worry about. I had no child to protect from the Reaper. The worst had happened and I was still breathing. Therefore, I left. I left the church, the town, and the God who watched it all happen. I realized that goodness isn't a shield. It's a burden we carry until it breaks us. I live in a trailer now, 3 states away. I work at a diner. I don't pray. But every morning, I watch the sun rise, and I realize that the world keeps turning whether you're a saint or a sinner. I am a survivor of the good life. And in the silence of my new world, I finally found the only thing that was ever real, the strength to stand in the dark and wait for the morning. Grief is a debt that can never be fully paid. But sometimes bankruptcy is the only way to find your freedom. This has been a story of resilience in the face of the unthinkable. If you've ever felt abandoned by the things you were taught to trust, know that you are not alone. Subscribe to VividPsyche, leave a comment below. Have you ever had to find your own light in the middle of a total blackout?